What's up, everybody? Welcome to the second episode of The Adapted Lens. So in my first episode, I talked a little bit about my gear and the history of me using cameras and lenses throughout the last 10 years or so as I've been a photographer. This is my current wildlife setup. It's the Canon EOS R with the Canon 500 f4.5L non-IS lens. This is my tripod, and I have a gimbal head on top as well. This thing weighs about as much as my 10-month-old son. It's not as cute though. He's a star and he doesn't even know it. Now, my camera might not wriggle around as much as this guy, but my wife has that awesome carrier to make it easy to carry all that weight. But what do we have to carry around 10, 12, 15 pounds of camera equipment or more? All right, so let's talk camera bags. First, you got this guy. It's pretty cheap, it's pretty affordable. It's got a little bit of a hard center at the bottom there, but it's not real ergonomic. You got a little handle on top. Certainly not going to fit that 500 in this thing. They make bigger ones with backpack straps and stuff like that. But really, you're not going to hold a whole lot of gear beyond just a camera and a single lens with a case like this. Now let's talk a little bit about the sweetheart of the hipster movement. Messenger bags. These bags are designed to be stealthy and sleek. They look pretty cool, but they don't really offer a whole lot of back support, and you're putting a lot of pressure on a single shoulder. Now, this guy is obviously not big enough to carry a 500 f4 or even a smaller telephoto lens, but they do make ones that are large enough to carry even a 70 to 200 or 100 to 400 millimeter lens, and I just think that's a bad idea on a single strap. Man purses.
Man purses.
Moving up the ladder, we have your generic, everyday backpack. Pretty straightforward. You throw it on your back, just like you're going to school, and that's about it. Except what no one tells you, this backpack is terrible for your back. You see, these flimsy straps, they offer nothing in the way of real support, and there's nothing to help put the weight on your hips, which are much stronger to support the weight than your shoulders are. Sure, you could fit a ton of gear, but at what cost? I don't know about you, but I think this is just a bad idea. And now for a good idea. I've actually only seen a few manufacturers make this kind of a bag before. It's really pretty ingenious. You just unclip it and wear it like a fanny pack. It may not be stylish, but it puts all the weight on your hips. The problem is, for something like this, you're not going to fit a whole lot of gear. I used to carry this bag when I used to shoot Micro Four Thirds a few years ago. It was perfect for my Micro Four Thirds camera and 2 or 3 small lenses. But now with a big full frame camera and sensor, it ain't gonna work. And now we come to the Mac Daddy, Boom. Look at this thing. Oh yeah. Sweet, right? This is a true hiking backpack. Notice it's got actual attachments for your hips. Really thick, super soft padded straps. A strap to go across your chest to keep this from sliding down. This bag is made to carry a lot of gear very effectively. Of course, the problem with a bag like that, it's expensive. That thing right over there, that cost me about $250. Sure, hopefully it'll last me for the rest of my life, but who knows? Also, I'll include links in the description to all of the bags shown here today, as well as the other camera equipment that I'm about to show you. He wants to be on the show. So next, everyone's favorite, camera carrying accessories. First, we start out with this thing. This little tiny, cruddy thing. Comes with every camera you ever bought. It's got a nice brand name attached to it. I've got about 1 million of them laying around the house because, as you heard in the last video, I've bought a lot of cameras. This is a neck strap. It's totally useless for carrying big lenses and big cameras around because it's putting all the weight on your neck. I've done it. It's stupid. Don't do it yourself. Next up is a sling. These things are pretty common. You see them everywhere. Wildlife photographers tend to like these a lot. I don't know about you, but all that weight on a single shoulder still doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me. You're putting a ton of pressure on a single pressure point, and I've gone out in the field for a few hours carrying one of these around and come back with a numb arm. It's just not a smart idea. It's a lot of birds. This strap is made by an awesome company, Peak Design. I really love their products, but again, for carrying large amounts of weight, you can either put this around your neck or like a sling. Either way, putting an awful lot of pressure on either your neck bones or your shoulder bones. I don't think this is a great idea. And now we've come to my favorite solution. It's not perfect because it doesn't really do a good job of carrying super long glass. But if you have something like a 100-400 or a 400 f5.6 or another small or medium-sized super telephoto lens, this is, I think, the perfect solution to take all the weight off your body and put it on your hips where it belongs. A lot of cattle egret. A lot of mosquitoes out here too. This is the Spider holster. It's pretty straightforward. This is a belt that you wear. This is a little locking clip that you have around your belt. This piece goes onto your camera's tripod foot. They have ones for your camera lens, but this goes on your tripod foot and it just simply clicks into place and slides off. I think it's the most effective way of taking weight off of your shoulders and neck and putting it where it belongs, on your hips. And yes, I have a lot of weight on my hips already, but it fits me perfectly. So properly attached, this is how you carry your camera. It's nice and secure, but you don't feel any weight at all. It's almost like the camera is floating. It comes right off, it's easy to carry, and to me, I think it's really the perfect solution to carrying a larger lens like this 100-400 all day long. And here's just another really great option in case you're carrying a smaller camera like the camera I'm recording this vlog with, the EOS M6 Mark II. This here is made by Peak Design. It's another great piece of equipment, very similar to the Spider holster. It just clicks on. This is a standard Arca Swiss plate. It just clicks in, and you can wear this either on a strap or even on your belt, although it would be hanging a little bit weird that way. I think it's a great accessory. It's not super expensive, and you can attach this to a belt that you already own. Also, Spider makes a really great, I'm not sure what this is actually called. It's basically just the clip part of the Spider belt that I showed you before. This is really like a hard plastic, so it's not made for super heavy equipment, but again, for something like Micro Four Thirds or a smaller APS-C setup, I think this is a really good option because you can just wear it on a belt you already own, put it on, put that weight on your hips instead of your shoulders, and voila, a much less painful day. The mosquitoes were getting to be a bit much for me out there, so I decided to get back into my car just to close this episode out. My kid just farted. The mosquitoes were getting to be a bit much for me out there, so I decided to get back into my car just to close this episode out. But I wanted to say thank you for watching. Please remember to click that like button, share it if you really want to, and please, if you haven't already, subscribe. And don't forget to ring that bell to be notified every time there's new content. And you can see my wife's arm right there. I think she's feeding him, so this is a real family affair, just in case you didn't know.